throughout the whole process, you must have had some pretty rewarding conversations and people. You've probably had some pretty hard conversations with certain people and certain. But it must be rewarding to you, right, to have people come up and change their mind or open the conversation or open their eyes a little bit.
Yeah, they fit into a bunch of different patterns. I mean, a lot of it, the stuff that it always surprises me when I get messages from people who are sort of recent immigrants or asylum seekers saying that the posters have made them feel more welcome, and it's very sort of affecting when it happens because it's just unexpected,
Must be a great feeling.
Well, it's good. It's so much better than because when I started, I was thinking, right, we're going to sort of get the polys. It's going to be about changing policy. Yeah,
hit them where it hurts.
And it was too big a goal for one person to really have. But that person-to-person interaction of I've been living here for a short time. Your posters spoke to me. Thank you for doing that. That's that's so much more rewarding, and that's sort of definitely kept me going. Then there are the people that dislike the posters for various reasons, and the conflicts of have with people on the street, because that's very sort of in your face. Like online, you can sort of
say what you want, troll anyone.
Yeah, and the nature of the conflict so much. It's so much easier to not have empathy for the person, but when you're in someone's face, it's such a weird mix of emotions because they're getting angry at you, but also you can see them getting guilty for getting angry at you. It's all happening at once. I've got a bunch of stories about that, which I sort of talk about in the book a lot. Then there are the interactions which are slightly more unexpected. That there's one I talk about in the book about a lady in it was near Potts Point. It was a sort of
inner Sydney,
wealthy area, and I was dressed in my gear, workwear, so I looked like someone who works on the street, and I was actually fixing up a poster that I stuck up a couple of days beforehand because the corner was peeling off, and she starts filming me on her phone and saying, "No, you don't. This neighborhood's wide enough, thanks very much." Like, she thought that I was taking the poster down.
Yeah, right.
And I just thought, fuck, this is like, I can't stop people from using my posters to assert the superiority of their class. Because I looked like a working class yob who was going to go, "Oh, fuck this poster."
Yeah.
And I think that's super interesting because there are actually perfectly legitimate reasons for wanting to limit immigration on economic grounds. Especially if you're at the bottom of the labour market, you don't want people coming overseas to take your jobs.
Yep.
And traditionally, the left has protected those people by saying, "Look, you're the members of unions, and we're going to, protect your, because you can't." That doesn't work if you have limitless labor. If it's always, you can always sort of undercut those people at the bottom of the labor market. But anyway, now if people sort of try to express those views, it's almost impossible for them to express that without being accused of xenophobia, bigotry, and so I just think that's a shame. And meanwhile, it's very easy for people who are very well off to say, "Well, I'm welcoming of others. I cherish diversity." It becomes this way of asserting their class superiority, and so that's a really unfortunate political dynamic that sort of that's developed in this country.
It's not an easy thing to wrap your head around the issues around everything that we've spoken about.
But
I really like your point as to focusing on, and I know we've got to get you out of here shortly.
Oh, do we? I'm sorry.
Focusing on the micro rather than the macro, and on an individual basis, because all these people that come up and thank you, it's probably a really positive thing for you. It's probably a real warm and fuzzy, and it probably makes you feel amazing. But on a scale, it's probably nothing on a scale compared to how amazing or how much better you've made them feel. You know, really, like think of being somewhere day to day, 24/7, and not feeling welcome. You know, feeling like an outsider, feeling like they're not. You know, it's a terrible, terrible feeling to wrap your head around. So,
well, I think that even if 99% of someone's life is all these people having peaceful, loving interactions, it's that one person that says, "Fuck off! You're never going to belong here." That will ruin your whole year, you know, because you start thinking that person is everyone.
Yeah.
They're just hiding it or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, I've never really had to have that. I mean, I've had awful interactions in my life, but it's never really being made to feel like you fundamentally don't belong for something that you can't change. That, you know, it's un-Australian to do that to people. So, and I try to focus on that sort of one-to-one sort of help that everyone can do. I mean, it's not just someone like me sticking up posters. Everyone making others feel welcome. It can have a net sort of accumulative benefit for everyone else. So, yeah.